Hello YouTube, hello Twitch, it is more Twist. The dust has settled a little bit. Having said that, I've not played too much since the last time I streamed this, so I don't really know where the dust settled to. I've heard that I don't like the tippy-toppiest. A lot of people complaining about Discard Warlock, which I might play in an upcoming episode. Another one that I thought was going to be extremely strong, and I do believe there are a lot of these running around in Legend right now, is Jade Druid. Namely, enabled by this new card, Cenarion Hold. My next choose one card will have both of its effects combined. And there's a lot of decent choose one options in Druid, like Nourish. 5 mana, draw 3 cards, get 2 mana crystals. Insane ramp. Also, in the past when Jade Druid was at its peak, you want to shuffle all of these idols into the deck so your deck becomes more and more, Jade Idols, and then you just swarm the board at the late game. So you want to kind of survive to that point. Cenarion Hold, though, helps you survive to that point by giving you some of your Jades early on up front, rather than just waiting for this huge backlog at the end of the game. Then there are some other cards that are pretty nice to get. I've also thrown in a copy of Starfall. 5 damage to a minion and 2 to all of them as well. Very nice control card for the Cenarion Hold. I think I'm actually I only have 1 right now. I do just have enough dust to craft another one of these. Yeah, I only had 1. I probably would have run a 2 of this card in there, because I think it's very good. Other than that, we're running other Jade enablers, Jade Behemoth, Jade Spirit. I've got in Ayayayaya for more Jade goodness. The new card Rat Sensei, to hopefully get me again to survive this early game. This is typical Druid, this is classic Druid, right? We're not that strong in the early game, but we get stronger as the game goes on, so we just want to live till the late game where we can start playing all of these Jade Idols. We can play our Yogg-Saron, throwing this guy in here as well, again. Not just because, it's a signature card that I've got, but also there is a little bit of logic in this, right? We're going to play a decent amount of spells for this deck. Cenarius as well, if we can get the both choose one effects. That's a very strong 8 mana effect. Anyway, without further ado, let's see how this is going to do. Now, I've heard another small qualm that people have had about this game mode is that when you get higher and higher in the ranks, the time to find a game goes up towards, 8 or 9 minute marks. So again, I can't do more than urge you to try this game mode out, especially if you're like a player that played in the past and, maybe went away and you feel like too much of the game has gone past you at this point to, get back in again. I think this twist mode is a perfect thing for you to come in and, have a little go at. Okay, we are looking at Warrior. So there are a few Warriors out there. Do I hold Nourish? I don't think I hold Nourish. I think I'll hold Keeper. There is an aggro Warrior out there. There are some control Warriors. I forgot to even mention Fandral, who's my other choose one enabler. For now, though, let's get idling in the deck. I don't think that's a full tell that it's the aggro weapon version. The control variant that I've seen out there, hello again, Jade Idol, is also running... You know what, I'm not going to shuffle any more back in. They're also running the Fiery War Axe. Now, one thing I should say is I've not played this off camera, and... Oh, it's Cthulhu, okay, so it is more controller orientated. I'm not super familiar with exactly how to play this deck. So apologies if I make some pretty big misplays. I get the understanding that I don't want to shuffle all the idols into my deck as soon as I get them, because it's going to affect my draw going forwards. What to do? That being said, this turn is pretty not good. I think I'll do another shuffle. Next turn I've got Fandral plus coin, so I could Fandral the other Jade Idol. That'll get my Jades going, and now going forwards I can start playing more and more of these idols. In my deck right now, I possibly should keep a deck tracker. I know it's better for you, the viewer, to have a deck tracker up. I don't like it personally. I feel it's a little bit too cheating, knowing what's in my deck. I like to try and remember it, but I think we've got 5 idols now in the deck. Okay, 3/5 won't live through next turn, but is it worth just sending it, or should I just send a swipe this time? I think this is worth swiping. I have huge respect for Frothing Berserker. Even now I respect Frothing Berserker. We do need to start doing stuff, though. I appreciate that. Alright, they burnt the weapon. That's pretty good for me. It is a decent swipe again, but I think we start getting dudes. I have II after the next turn that's going to get me a 2/2. And a 3/3 for that matter. They have to trade this realistically. Okay. It might be better for me to get Druid of the Claw here. 4/9 taunt, slow the opponent down a little bit more. I can also push 2 damage onto the 4/2. I'm kind of ignoring Cthulhu right now, just hoping he won't be a problem. But what would my play be other than that? It's actually a really annoying hand, all these 4 costs and 6 costs. Yeah, you know what? Give me Taunt. Hopefully this will eat up some of the minions. And if the attack with Death's Bite and, you know, the minions stay up, it's at least going to set them to 1 health, so a swipe next turn will be pretty valuable. This is going to be a real good swipe. Oh my god, draw 5, that's pretty good as well, I'll give you that.
Are you my master?
Alright, we need to pull up now. Pull up out of the tailspin.
Safeguard the
land. Please no Cthulhu on 8. We can get back into this if not Cthulhu on 8. Oh, it's Cthulhu on 8. God damn it. Alright, fair play. Warrior, dream draw, Cthulhu on 8. What can you do about it? We kind of had a pretty poor draw. Drawing back into my idol early on. Honestly, shuffling 3 idols into my deck early on kind of cost me. Another Druid. Now, we don't know what they're going to be. They could be the Mirror. They could also be Cthulhu Druid. Or they could be running both, which I think is a misplay. For reasons I mentioned an episode or 2 ago, that it's a bit anti-synergistic.
My greetings.
Coin Rat. actually might not be the worst thing. You know what? Let's try it. The new card, Rat Sensei. These turtles good for surviving early game. Also can help fill out my curve. Alright, they've got Cenarion Hold, so it's probably the mirror. Gain a mana crystal, draw a card. Let's start ramping. I did say as well in the past, and other Hearthstone creators have said it's quite nice with Twist that draw really comes at a premium, so maybe it's not worth ramping for this deck, but I personally prefer to have done what DMX just did, where I get both the effects. Say Livy. Alright. Hello. Nice of you to show up one turn late. I am in swipe territory right now, so I don't really want to play 2 1-drops into the board. So we'll just push the button. Ah, Spelldrake, you say. Okay, I can clear that with a Wrath plus hero power. I think I'd be willing to take 4 to the face to clear this. I could use the 2/2, but I'm going to value the minion. And you know what? Fill out that curve with a nice 1/1 taunt for 1. Next turn we can start getting Aya going, possibly even Jade Blossom instead. Maybe Blossom Rat Sensei. Maybe Starfall as well. That changes things slightly. I think this means I want to get a wider board. Well, I'm 1 turn off it. Starfall plus this is just too good to not do. So I don't think I'm going to be attacking into this for the trades. Therefore, let's ramp. Because there is a chance that Cenarius is the play. It's still a pretty good swipe board, I will say. A 2/1 will live. No swipe. But they're going to trade. Well, they have to trade the taunts, I suppose, now that I think about it. That makes sense. But they're going to trade everything. Whoops. Did not pay attention to this. Let me hold then. Let's do holding pattern. If they're willing to trade with me, I'll just try and get more value than they offer. Plus, if I save 2 turtles, we can at the very least turtle Cenarius and get both the effects off it. And that's pretty good value. Next turn I can Staghelm plus Starfall. Maybe not the best use of that. Versus shuffling a ton of idols and getting the idol effects off. So maybe it's worth bursting the hold for it.
Warriors, come out to play.
Hello, Yogg-Saron. Yeah, I don't think this board is threatening enough. So I could turn this into a 4-4, which would trade into this pretty nicely. You'd become a 3-3, which isn't a great trade. But I think it's a reasonable power play. I could also just leave this up, but I don't think I will, because it just trades into the 3-3 taunt anyway. And I also don't want them doing the reverse to me. Like, it could have traded into the 4-4 with a swipe. Bran, you say? I did toy with putting Bran into this deck, funnily enough, but I came to the conclusion there weren't enough battle cries in the deck for Bran. Like, that would have been the big payoff card for it. Five and 2. This has to be Fandral territory. 5-2 to all. Trading to Bran. Kills the one-off. So we have to kill Bran here. And I might as well use the 3-3 for that. Then I'll trade the 4-1 into the 4-2 to protect it. I will trade that. Just because of swipe. I'd like to have a taunt still up to protect Fandral, but Fandral would probably be the numero uno target for removal here. I also really need this board to kind of stick now because my hand is not exactly full of the old fuel. I mean, who knows what Yogg's full of, but 3 turtles. Okay. Alright, I think we have 4 idols in the deck. I kind of need the value now, so I'm going to take this. They've just burnt a swipe, so I think I'm willing to turtle up a little bit more. I'll hold a turtle, just in case I'm absolutely desperate for taunt. But this feels pretty good. Unless they're running Starfall, but even Starfall doesn't do great. Starfall swipe, though, would be pretty brutal. Feral Rage. And then Ayaya. Did consider putting Feral into this deck. Possibly the right play to play Feral into this deck even. But who's the guy that, you know, is leaving 1-on-1 record now? Not DMX, I can tell you that. The more and more I think about it though, actually, Feral Rage in this deck does make quite a lot of sense. There's another good choose one card. My version is lacking a lot of sustain. Perhaps I should value that more. Okay, is this going to be discard Warlock? You know what? I'm not going to make the same mistake I did last time. Or at least I think it was a mistake. I'm not going to shuffle 3 idols in the deck on turn 1. In fact, I don't think I want it yet. Alright, if you're going to give it me, I'll do it. The card's glowing. What do you want me to do? It was glowing. I guess could have waited for the hold so that, you know. Well, I say I could wait for the hold. I'm almost certainly hold Invigorating. Yes, this is discard Warlock. I think we are in Bad News Bears territory. If I can survive, though, for another turn, we have a chance. If I can survive for the rest of the game, we have a chance.
Job's done.
Oh my god. Hey, it's turn 3! You've got it 9-8. Let's taunt up a little bit. Alright, Dark Peddler. The only thing I've got going for me is they haven't been discarding many cards right now, so Tiny Knight of Evil is actually still relatively tiny. No! I needed that one. Oh my god. Well, we can do a 7-6 with Rush and trade into that. The 7-9 with Rush Taunt doesn't help me here, so I just need to get rid of that thing. Like, would have been lethal if I didn't. It's still pretty bad, though. It's still extremely bad. As in, I think we're dead. I can swipe this and then pray they don't have +3. I mean, it's all I can do, right? Get an idol, push the button. But I'm pretty certain that deck runs Soulfire. I don't think my version does, though. But most versions do. Alright, positive. Less positive.
The truth is in here.
Well, if I can clear the board, we have a chance. That is not the thing that I need to clear the board with, though. Well, womp womp. To be fair, I think this deck which went up against is the number one, the numero uno deck right now in Twist. I've heard a lot of complaints about it, and honestly, I don't think that was a particularly good start for that deck. They really want their location, then they can just do disgusting things. That being said, the Tiny Knight of Evil being whatever it was, a 9-7 on turn 3 was pretty disgusting.
Malfurion versus Cenarius.
Hello again, Warlock.
I must protect the wild.
Honestly, I might hold Jade Behemoth. There's a decent chance I'm going to ramp with Invigorate.
My greeting.
In fact, there's a decent chance I'm going to ramp instantaneously with it. So the next turn I can rat Sensei and play one of the ratlings, the turtles.
Are you my
Oh, it's Cthulhu Warlock. Okay. Snap. It is not the deck I thought it was.
you hear its call?
Yes. Probably, possibly, maybe. I might silence that, honestly. It's going to take me some time to deal with it. Otherwise. Silence it, trade the 2/2. They won't be able to kill the 3/4 immediately. Alternate line is I ignore it, do 2 damage here, have the 2/2 up. Actually, that's probably a better line. Then I can deal with it next turn. So they get +1/+1 in Cthulhu. But tempo-wise, this is way better. Plus, we've got 2 fairly big Jade boys coming up. Oh, that's a good hold. Really good hold, in fact. 4 damage on Wrath. I can play the Monk Turtle to try and pop the 4/2. Alright, I'm feeling good about this start. Now, it is Warlock. They've probably got a way to do 1 damage and then trade into the 2/4. So be it if you do that. Oh, wow. Warlock go quick. They do not care about the trade. Alright. I think we hold the Idol here. Pretty good with Fandral.
Oops, I broke a
Hmm.
diamond.
You'll be a small issue for me to get through. As in, I can't get through you. But that probably just means I just Jade up, right? Trade off the 4/1 instead. I broke the location there rather than use Fandral because, well, I want to play this as well. And I wanted space for all of this, basically. So I'll leave up your 11/11. I have 2 taunts protecting me right now. I might have to Yogg and pray. Damn, I forgot that gets the buff whenever Cthulhu does. Uh-oh. I think they're going to push 13 to the face. In fact, I think they're going to push 17 to the face. Swipe 4. Three, 2, 2. I hate that trade, but I think it's the right play. And then we taunt up. They don't have Cthulhu on 8. It'd be ridiculous if they had Cthulhu on 8. No, you don't have it. Why do they always have Cthulhu on 8? Come on! Give me a break. I guess that's why I keep my silence, boy. Just in case there is a stalk incoming. Sadly, Druid, not great at single target removal. Alright, is this more Cthulhu action?
I must protect the wild.
You know what? I'll keep it. I don't have a 1 or a 2 player. I can always push the button 2. But I like the idea of Jade blossoming into potentially Nourish. Ideally, I'd get the location early. If I can get the Nourish off with the location,
My greetings.
I'd feel pretty happy about things. Coin Blossom as well, to get the 4 early. Would let me play Jade Spirit into Behemoth. Go on. You've convinced me. Plus, that's pretty good tempo. We can always Nourish... Well, if we draw the location, we can Nourish location on 7 instead to ramp to 9.
My thanks to you.
Okay, I don't recognize this deck. This is some sort of weapon rogue deck. Let's keep tempoing as well. I think next turn is the first turn where we can consider if we want to Nourish for draw. I'm probably more inclined to draw at this point than the ramp option. It's pretty close though. Maybe I'd wait till 7. Maybe I'll Druid next. I like this Druid to fast answer though. Keeper I think I need to keep just in case it's Cthulhu with Eye Stalks. So maybe Invigorate will be the play. And draw a card off Invigorate rather than ramp off it. It turns out it was none of those. It was Ayaya. I am playing the Tempo Druid now. Alright. Nice, that's one of the minions down. I was half expecting a Vanish, but not Vanish. It's still lethal, Apocalyptus, buddy. Okay, there's Sap. Interesting choice that they sapped the 6/3 that's going to give a 5/5 rather than the 4/4 and take the 2 additional damage. It does mean this play is different for me now. Well, actually, I ramp 2 mana crystals, I go to 9. No, this is still better. I'll protect Ayaya as well. If you bounce my board again, so be it.
I got the best deals anyway.
Okay, they're doing the combo. Nice combo. Sure.
Smart moves, I concede.
Interesting. I'm not sure the whole gimmick of that deck was. I have seen rogues, you know, like drawing through their entire deck. But I don't know what their play was. What were they drawing into? I assume Edwin was in the deck somewhere. I think the other times I've seen that they've been running it with Cthulhu package or a small bit of the Cthulhu package, and they just draw into the Cthulhu cards quicker. And then start bouncing Cthulhu back. Maybe that was the gimmick and they just didn't get any of the Cthulhu cards. Okay, Druid v Druid. We don't want the Idol. I debate if I want Fandral even. Because I think we want Fandral to combo with something. I'm never really going to play Fandral 4. So I think everything goes back to the deck. I think it's better than the hand I mulliganed. But not by a lot. I don't know why I'm doing it. I still think it's the wrong play to do that on turn 1. Because it's a really bad draw for me right now. I'm just putting bad cards in my deck. Oh. Rat Sensei. A swipe will be very good against you. I'm actually going to pre-charge you. I wonder if my opponent will read into why I put you to 1. They might think I'm just going to ping it again next turn, which I might do. Okay, double rat. I think I'm going to Wrath. So we're pre-set up for a swipe. I also have this swipe Thalnos combo, which I've kind of put in here for, you know, that reason. Also, it's draw a card, which is pretty powerful. I think that's my big take-home message from the first day when I played through Twist, that draw is just this super premium. Sadly, I'm not going to use that combo because this is a pretty darn good swipe. We're removing what? 5 mana off the board? For 4? I can live with that. Plus did 1 damage. It was effectively -1 mana, deal 1 damage. Okay, it's Jade's. Jade on Jade action. So I think a lot of this, if it is the pure mirror, will be about tempo. Who can get their Jades going the fastest and then just trading very efficiently with them. Plus any sneaky tech cards that might be in there.
None.
Like the Black Knight.
Where shall I strike?
7-2 pretty good into a board with just a 1-1 on it. They might have another Wrath. They might swipe my face. They might hit it with their face. They're going to Wrath it. Okay. Man, the location would be pretty decent right now. Make my Starfall do 5 to 1 and 2 to all. It will clear off, well, it'll clear off these two. They might trade into me, so that might not be as good a play going forwards. The dream here is they don't trade at all. Okay, they drew 3. So we get a reasonable Cenarius off, I think, for this. Okay, they're at least part trading. Would I... Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's literally what I wanted. I was going to say, would I Starfall just a 3/6? At this point as well, at 9, I'll just draw a card off you. And I've now got the tempo. Alright, you're going to get some pretty big guys coming up, I assume. Ayaya. Obviously, I'd really like to double this card's effect. I tell you what, Ayaya might be the best thing for me to silence. Yeah, it really is. Well, I say it really is. I don't know for certain. I've got a pretty decent idea that it is, though. Bran cannot live. I'll trade the 3 into the 6. And then we'll protect what minions we have with Taunt. Plus we go wide for Cenarius. The location is going to come back up again next turn. Alright. Good swipe for my opponent. Hello, NG. Rat plus Cenarius plus this might be the play. It's not great, though, with the 2/1. Alternatively, I could trade the 2/1. I'm doing fine, NG. I could trade the 2/1, get 2 1/1s, play the 2 1/1s to Cenarius with that, so I have a bunch more taunt.
What to do?
Yeah, I think I prefer that line. Make him grind through my board. Interesting. They're lethal. They do. Crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how we lost that one. I felt like we had the better exchange for most of the game. It might have just been the swipe was better for them than it was for me. Because I removed 5 mana worth of stuff, whereas they took off my... Well, they took off one of my 3/3s, which was at 3/1 at the time. Well, that's kind of like a 3 mana card, and they took off 2 of my 1 manas, plus another minion, which I think was a 4 mana minion. So I think that just extra bit of oomph did it for them.
Malfurion versus Rexxar.
Let the hunt begin. I must protect the wild.
And I guess my trades towards the end were... I didn't retain the minions. Like, when trading into the Sens, I lost my 3-3 into their 6-3. It was still a decent trade, but... Please stop giving me Jade Idol on 1. Alright, I'm not doing it this time. It actually didn't matter in the last game, but... It has to be the wrong play. Okay, it's Face Hunter, it appears. I think this is a reasonable Wrath. Okay, Fandral plus Jade Idol is a bit more tempting later on.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
It's also pretty tempting for 6. I'm actually going to ramp instead. I don't want to pop this little nerd. He can live there for now. Next turn I can do Fandral plus Idol if I want to. Hey, it might just be Keeper though. Keeper silence that, deny them a secret. It makes the swipe pretty bad, though, because they're almost certainly have a 4-2 and a 2-2. Alternatively, I swipe the 4-4, remove 4 damage off, leave it as a 2-1. Yeah. And you know what? I think I'd be willing to do this now. From now on, Fandral can be played with the 1-drop.
Such big teeth I have.
Might be an even better silence target. Okay, you can have your pathetic secrets. I assume one of them is Explosive Trap. I'll see what you do with the trades, though.
You feel icky.
No one's expecting, actually. Okay, I have to play cards here. Oh, Catrick. Okay, that makes sense. I don't even know why I didn't think of Catrick being one of the cards. So it's Catrick and Explosive, I think. Okay, we could do 2 here, remove 4 off.
I must safeguard the land.
Debatably, I should have silenced that. You know what? I maybe should have fought for like a microsecond for that turn. Because silencing a buffed Sylvana, denying the Death Rattle, was probably worth a bit more there. I maybe do deny them, though, pushing 7 damage to my face. We'll call it even. I'll still call it even. Okay. We have to trade, but then not go face.
Feel nature's wrath.
I should have done that differently. You're right. I'm dumb. I'm just not thinking. I should have traded the 4-6 so I'd have more health rather than having a 4-1. Especially when I know it's explosive trap. In long run, probably not going to matter.
Bring out your dead.
Rat Sensei will block 2 damage. It's probably not going to be good enough. I think it's going to be Yogg-Saron and Prey. Yogg-Saron and Prey. Great. Not my face. You know what? He deserved it. Hey, 5 health. You know what, Yogg-Saron? You cleared one of my minions off, which I'd rather you didn't, but... At least I think I'm going to live for a turn. Maybe. You're not a beast, so 2's coming in. I assume Skill Command is in the deck somewhere.
Bring out your dead.
Interesting, I'll give you that. 2 mana crystals draw 3 cards. I don't think I can right now. I think I need to protect the face. I also really, really want to push the button. And I don't want to attack because I know it's explosive. Alright, hello, Nazoth. A bit of a small issue, this. Could have done with something a little bit better there, not gonna lie. So we can get a... I think this gives... Does this give you a 7-9 with Rush and Taunt? You get the best of both worlds. You know what, we can test the interaction, because I don't actually know. I thought you got both. So that's a pretty good trade into Nazoth. I could also trade it into Savannah to deny a Savannah spawn. Which I think is what I'm actually going to do first. Then you're going to go into here. You're going to go into here. I'm going to push the button and generate some 1/1s. And that is my turn. I think I'm still dead. 2, possibly the 1 will go here. 1/1. 6. So I'm not dead on board. However, there is no healing in my deck. And I know that's explosive trap, so... This is a pretty bad situation to be in. Kind of somehow need Yogg-Saron to come back around and save me. Somehow just pull Yogg-Saron out of the draw pile. Discard pile even. Can you end your turn? Oh, you know what? Fuck you, I don't care.
I concede.
There's actually no draw that saves me. Biffy, go fuck yourself. Not because you beat me, but because you got lucky and then decided just to, you know, try and waste everyone's time. There's ways you can win, there are ways you can't win. Anyway, let's play one more out. Is that where we're at now? Yeah, we played 6 games. We'll play 1 more. Changes I would make to the deck. I definitely wouldn't put Yogg-Saron in the deck. I think I've had my fill of Yogg-Sarons now. I think I'll stop putting them in the decks every time now. Other than that, I don't think the deck list is that far off.
Malfurion versus Thrall. You are in the court of the elements now. I must protect the wild.
I don't think I keep Nourish. You know, Keeper could be decent, but I don't know really what I'm playing up against. I'm just sending it all back. You know what? I'm happy enough with this. I might twist the game slightly so that you... This has happened too many times. I think I might twist the deck around a little bit to have a bit more tempo in the early game.
Spectacular.
If it is a hungry crab. I play a 4 health mini now, please. It's 2 health. I think we should protect our face still. As painful as it is to waste 2 damage. Okay. I was going to actually do the Jade Idol and start putting it into the deck, but I could be convinced that Cenarion Hold the Jade Idol.
By my froggy crown. Spectacular.
Alright, things will get better from next turn. The Behemoth into Aya play. I hate that is going to live for too long. Man, Lotus Agents, welcome to the stream. The first time I've seen you today. Gain a Mana Crystal, draw card. I have to do it this way around. I have to play Jade Behemoth first. Otherwise, I will die. Please don't be running... Bloodlust. Is Bloodlust in the game at this point? It must be, right? I've not seen that, I don't think, in Twist yet. Oh. I was about to say Swipe is going to be insane here. Starfall would be insane here. That is neither of those. Alright, we need to just start playing minions. You don't have to choose one effect, it's just a Battlecry Death Rattle. Okay, if we put Fandral on the board, my opponent at least is going to be more tempted to kill it, right? They're not just going to run everything to the face. It is only 12 damage right now. I say only. But if they're not going to kill me, they have to kill Fandral. It's too much value. And we're slowly causing them to, you know, lose stats on the board, and we're getting stronger and stronger. I mean, we are playing this, right? 9, 16, 17. There's like nothing that comes from this that I'm playing. I'm pretty certain.
Golems are a girl's best friend.
Not the dream. Ah! Alligator! Alright, this deck sucks. It turns out this deck is hot trash. It's too slow. I guess I need to make it a bit more control-y, I suppose, just to live through the early game. Like, I'm stunned how poorly this deck did. Just looking on paper right now, other than Yogg-Saron, which is a bit of a meme card, I will say, I'd probably have put like another Starfall in if I had the other Starfall. But the rest of the deck doesn't look that bad, no? Right, Sensei? You're not that bad. Invigorate, you're not that bad either. Cenarion Hold, that's good value, no? I just can't live long enough to get the value onto the board. So I guess maybe Starfall is just too slow, even though I just had to put another one in. Nourish was fine, even though I don't play it. I guess Druid maybe a bit too slow in Cenarius, even though I got some pretty good value off Cenarius as well. Maybe all of those are just too slow. I just have to bump up the early game. Thalnos as well, if we take a Starfall out, we probably wouldn't run it anymore. I might come back and have a look at this one again in the future, because it wasn't even close. Sometimes you go 2 and 5 and you're like, alright, we got a bit unlucky. This time we went 2 and 5, and honestly, it felt like it was more of a stomp than this. But yeah, I find this crazy, honestly. Super, super crazy this was really, really weak. Anyway, that'll do it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, why not leave a like, comment, subscribe, everything helps me out. And I'll see you on the next part. Goodbye.